climbing the career ladder, and it's part of the Monday motivation segment of the show. Now, what do we mean by climbing the career ladder? Well, one thing that we've learned through this segment is that you need to have a career roadmap or a development plan of how you're going to grow in your career, because we want to grow. We don't want to stay stagnant. Nobody wants to stay stagnant. Growth is very important for you and for me. So this is what we've learned throughout the journey of having Kodani joining us on climbing the career ladder. So some people are feeling stuck or stagnant in their careers, but it starts, I believe, should actually starting from when we are still in school. But before we get to her sharing on the topic that she has with us today, can we welcome Kodani once again in the studio? Welcome, Kodani. Welcome to Link FM and Climbing the Career Ladder.
Thank you for such a warm welcome.
Was it a warm one?
Very warm.
Very long warm one.
It was very warm.
Oh.
I think I appreciate that.
Aww.
I feel loved.
This is good. No. Listen, you've changed things. You are teaching us. You are encouraging us to grow with our careers. So now
I must say this has actually been groundbreaking for me too as well. I'm just reflecting on when I started in January. This was not very comfortable for me, but I've learned a lot.
I'm proud of you.
I've learned a lot, and it has improved my presentation skills. It has improved quite a lot of skills, I must say. So thanks to you, Bantu.
No. Say thank you, Jesus, because God is the one that put this together. So we all glory goes to our Father in heaven. Now, Kodani, last week you attended. One of the things that you love to do is to give back in the community, right?
Definitely.
Besides the CV writing and CV reviewings that you do by giving back, because you go over people's CVs and you don't charge them, but you also want to inspire the next generation. So last week you attended a career fair.
Yes, I did. I love working with the young ones because they are the future. If you want to create a brighter future, or rather just a good environment, we need to start from the beginning, or rather from when they're still young.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
So I went to one of the high schools in East London last week, and thanks to Yamkelo for the invite. That's very close to my heart, and the experience was rather mixed. I had mixed feelings around it, because somebody who's coming from engineering, I was actually invited to talk more about engineering, because a lot of kids are running away from doing engineering now.
All right.
Like what we were discussing before, the show, that people want their way out, like an easy way out. So while I was there, it really got me thinking when I was asking, how many of you have applied for university?
So are these, by the way, matrics?
Matrics only.
Oh my word.
And I'm sure it was more than 60 students.
Okay.
Yeah. And, asking different questions, and only few people had like their hand up.
So a few of them, like a select few of them, say they've applied.
They've applied, yeah, so far. And remember, the university applications are closing now in September.
Oh my word.
And just to think of what has stopped you from applying. And I'm asking because the school that I went to, it's a private school. So you can't say that I don't have an access to, certain things that I wouldn't accept from that school,
So then do we then say it's because they're not exposed to some of these career fairs or career opportunities? What do we say? Why are they not signing or putting in the applications? And this also reminds me when I was in matric. Let me tell you about my story.
Yes.
Honestly speaking, I had an idea what I wanted to do, but I didn't know. Funny enough, I literally went blank when I was in matric. Before that, I was like, I want to be in PR and all that. And then in matric, when I had to apply, I'm like to my dad, I don't know what I'm applying for.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why. I honestly don't remember why. So maybe,
and when was this? Was it the beginning of the year, or just before the closing dates of the applications?
It was when it was time for applications to go in and all that. So, and then my dad was like, okay, fine, just apply for drama because you love it. And that's how I then studied that. But I think maybe we and looking at this current generation, right? They are a digital generation that a generation that is online. They
Yeah.
want to be on the online space. They want to be influencers, and so those careers have changed. And looking at when our parents were in Korea, and choosing their careers, there was only a select few of careers, but now there's a wide variety.
Yeah.
And is it because maybe the industry is not doing enough by raising awareness or telling them this is the career, this is what you can do, this is what you should be studying, or also the pupils are also not doing their research or putting that development plan into place?
Yeah, there are quite a lot of factors. I mean, now we've got maths literacy, where a lot of kids, when they're struggling with maths, they just move over to maths
Yes.
literacy. And in terms of the drive of getting into a university and do a course that is in demand, looking at the market right now, job market, they don't really have that drive. So therefore, when they also look at social media, I'm sure they feel like everything can become, they can get money easy. The way that you see influencers making money, quick money basically, and they don't understand, how much you put into
Yes.
getting that quick money, but also looking at the quick money that they see, that there's like the flashing.
Yes.
They don't really see exactly what is happening behind the scene.
That's
They
true.
only see the highlights of
When
what people are showing, and they feel like then life can be that easy. So
Yeah.
therefore, the drive of going to varsity and studying is not really necessary. So back then, we didn't have internet. We didn't have much that we could refer to in terms of studying. You did mention that in terms of courses as well, selections, there weren't like a big variety. Now there's like an internet. There's so many things that you can get on the internet, but I feel like the data is not being consumed right.
Okay.
Like, instead of really spending more time on,
Doing the
for example,
research.
doing the research on LinkedIn, networking, they don't use it for
Yes.
that. And I'm saying this because also looking at the school that I went to, and I asked who's going to study engineering, and I think only 5 kids like literally raised their hands. And when I asked why, and then they said, well, maths is hard. And if you look, there are some engineering where you don't have a lot of numbers.
Okay.
It's like a lot of theory. Like, for example, industrial engineering, there's a lot of theory.
Okay.
So looking at that now, that there's just a lot of information that can be also misleading on the internet,
Yes.
that then makes you feel like maybe I must not take the school route, and just rather do shortcuts.
Yeah.
Just post videos dancing, then I'll go somewhere.
And I'll make it, Mama. I'll make it. Now, tell me something. What research does one put in when they are researching their career? What makes me say, okay, I'm going to go
Yeah.
into the career? Why would I make that decision? How? Or maybe the question should be, how do I get to that point to say, okay, this is the career that I want to get into?
Yeah.
How did you decide? I mean, you shared your story last week,
Yeah.
and you went through so many challenges in
Yeah,
your
personal.
schooling,
Yeah.
in your school career, but yet you studied engineering,
Yeah.
and you qualified
Yeah.
from that. So what made you, and how did that guideline do you think should also be a way somebody should also decide this is what course I'm going to take?
Yeah, I mean, first thing first, you need to believe in yourself and really surround yourself with positive people. I would never say this enough, and like, surrounding yourself with positive people. For myself, I was lucky enough because I went to a technical high school, so therefore, in terms of choosing engineering, I did technical subjects from grade 9 or grade 10,
Okay.
which I was majoring in mechanical engineering. So therefore, it was easy for me to just default into doing mechanical engineering.
Okay.
Yes. However, I must say, a lot was challenging because I did repeat grade 11. So that means if maybe I was in a school where it was not only like technical subjects, I could have maybe just moved to go and do maybe some maths literacy. And so I feel like now, like, people give up very easily.
Yes. They don't challenge.
No, not at all. And I look at myself when I failed grade 11. When I went to grade 12, I was in top 5,
Wow.
performing learners. So I really had to study very hard that I also qualify in varsity. So, I mean, to get into engineering is not, like, the results must also show.
Yes.
So, and looking at the way I really became like very strategic on how I was studying, anything is possible. And that's what I was telling the learners as well, that anything is possible. Me myself, we felt grade 11, and I thought I was not smart, but studying, putting in the hours, which a lot of people don't put in the hours. Putting in the hours can help you really improve. Look at how much it takes in order for you to learn a dance challenge. It's a lot of hours. I remember when I started TikTok, I literally used to start to try and learn dance challenges, and it took me like an hour to learn that. And I'm thinking, like, with that hour that you're putting into learning a dance challenge, it could be an hour that you're putting into learning a formula, and it doesn't take a lot. It's just an hour a day that you put into learning your schoolwork that can improve, or rather like make you understand, so that you can pass the exams.
Does subject matter? Like, your subject choices, you get to a certain level in grade 9, you have to start choosing your subject choice from grade 10, 11, and 12. Now, does that also matter for the career that you want to get into?
They matters a lot. That's why I always recommend that when you are doing grade 9, you must start researching about the field that you would like to go into. I think your question also was like, how can one, like look at which field to go under.
Yes.
Looking at now, like the environment that we're in the sustainability era. So that means the subjects that you're choosing must be aligned, or rather the career that you're choosing must be aligned with sustainability and also artificial intelligence. So look at your career, which is, your career must be, your key focuses must be that when you are choosing the course that you're going to study. And now when you're in grade 11, you go to grade 7, you go to grade 10, you have to choose obviously whether you're doing maths, or
maths literacy,
science, maths literacy, accounting. A lot of courses want you to have pure maths.
Yes.
So for me, it's always advisable that you really just focus on doing pure maths, because it will get you into doing courses that would take you far in your career.
So because a lot of people usually say, when they do maths literacy, it doesn't allow for a more wider variety for you to industry to get into. So more people advise for you to do pure maths. And I've seen some job specs which says that you should have studied pure maths and not maths lit. Now, okay, so if anybody is wanting to,
and to add on that, in terms of what you need to look at, South Africa, very easy, unemployment rate. Just look at, from the unemployment rate, the number of graduates, which careers do they come from? So that means you also need to run away from those, unless if you've got like a proper streamlined roadmap. People who are going to sponsor you into getting into, like, maybe getting into the university will be easy, but after the university, what's next? If you don't want to fall under the unemployment rate, then you need to get somebody who's going to mentor you and also guide you, so that you don't follow into that trap as well.
I saw a trend on TikTok as well, Kurani. Thank you for sharing that. Where you post your picture broke with some of the figures that I saw there, because they, even though they qualified, to be engineers, teaching, and all that, most of these young people finding themselves in retail or in a role that,
I cry sometimes when I'm reviewing CVs, to tell you the truth. I get very emotional because I think last week actually there was one lady that I was reading her CV. She studied computer science, and then you look at, like, now we're in the digital space. Like, how are you getting a job in when you've got a qualification in computer science? And she was working in like retail as well, restaurants. And with a lot of CV reviews, I always, if I see that there's a big drift between your qualification and where you are working now, I asked her, can we have a meeting rather, so that I can guide her in terms of what is it that she's looking for.
Yes.
Because CV writing is not just about you putting in your experience, but also it has to be aligned with your qualification and also where you would like to be in the future.
Yes.
So when I see that, I always ask the guys to say, can we have a meeting? Because I see there's a huge gap between your career, your qualification, as well as your current employment. So how do you then want to sort of like move back to your qualification or get a job that is aligned with your qualification? Yeah, no, I'm glad that you mentioned that, and really it makes me very emotional when I see that.
You know,
yeah,
it's heartbreaking because I mean, if we could even check those stats, that high unemployment rate, and look at what the cause is, then we can change the narrative, and that rate can go down. So if anybody is probably looking to start their career, where would you advise them to start off at? And then if they would like to contact you, how can they contact you for services going forward?
Yeah. So basically, from grade 9, start looking into which careers are more suitable with your personalities, like something that you would enjoy, and how do you go about that. That's why a career roadmap then is very important, that you start visualizing what you like. I think every single year we've got different interests. Writing helps you to sort of like narrow down your interest, and also not to forget what you were thinking about yesterday. So now starting there can also help you to sort of like narrow down where your interests are, and getting a mentor who can help you, like what you visualized, is it feasible? So a mentor can help you with that as well. And not forgetting doing job shadowing, because that can help you to really say, okay, I want to study engineering, but is it something that I would love, I would enjoy? Then if you go and you do just job shadowing, then it becomes easier for you to just understand whether it's something that you would like, and also something that you would enjoy. And in a job market like in South Africa, where we've got high unemployment rate, it's also advisable that you look at careers that can allow you to work overseas without you having to do, maybe needing experience from South Africa or an additional certificate. For an example, when you've studied engineering, you can easily go work overseas with your engineering degree.
Oh wow. And I love how you touched on job shadowing as well, because I got the shock of my life when so we've got some lawyers that come on a Wednesday for the Wednesday link, and I was just engaging with them the one time, and I'm like, I loved Suits, in varsity, loved watching Suits, and they laughed. They were like, oh, we never hear the end of this, but what you see in these shows is not what you get in reality. So job shadowing is very, very important, so that you can understand that what you see on the TV is not what's going to happen in your life. So in case somebody does go into a career seeing the glitz and the glamour of the television show, and then they get to the career and like, this is not what I was expecting. So job shadowing and mentorship is very, very important for anybody wanting to get into any career.
Very, and ask a lot of questions, guys. I had a student who's currently studying at NMU. So that student is coming like to my workplace for vacation work, and I had to look at how he's learning, and thinking of, okay, your end goal is to pass, and then you come back to work here, right? He's a bursary student, and now we literally had to look at his modules. That was me and him looking at his modules, what he's doing, and the departments that are aligned with those modules. So that helps him to sort of like understand what he's studying theoretically and applying it into practice. So now we literally had to write different departments that are aligned with his modules. And by the end of June, July, when he went back to varsity, he was like, wow, that was actually helpful.
That's good.
Because he came in December, and then December we didn't really do much, but now in June when he came back, and I thought, okay, what could be the best way of helping him to sort of like apply theory into practice. And now he's also looking at, okay, in the next semester, these are the modules that I'll be doing, therefore let me learn the practical part of it before I go into theory, so that then it becomes easier for him. So that's why it's quite important that we're intentional about job shadowing, we're intentional about asking questions, we're intentional about seeking for support. So don't operate as an island. There are a lot of people that are willing to support there, and that's what I said also on LinkedIn, that this month I would like to help people that are feeling stuck in their career to sort of like like just visualize their goals, what they would like to achieve, and also try to get them mentorship. So I like to support people with mentorship as well. I can't do everything, I don't know everything, and therefore
But you can link them
I can
up.
link them up.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
So if anybody would like to contact you at Career and Corporate Hub, how can they get a hold of you?
They can contact me on LinkedIn at Kodani Hladwayo, and on email at career.corporatehub@gmail.com. Please make sure that when you write me an email, your subject is career support, or the subject that you need supported with, so that it's easier for me to see that email. And then on Instagram is Kodani_H, and then on LinkedIn, or rather on TikTok, is Career and Corporate Hub.
All right. If anybody missed any of those contact details of how they can get a hold of her, you can send me a WhatsApp on the WhatsApp number, and I'll share that information with you. We got a WhatsApp from Abu Pamla saying, "Great conversation, Bantu. My son needs these services." So she will be in touch with you soon, Kodani. What book are you currently reading?
I am on my 18th book for
Oh my
this year,
word! Oh my
and
word!
it's called Make Your Contacts Count. So this is networking know-how for business and career success. So,
Okay. Thank you so much, Kodani, for always motivating and encouraging us with climbing the career ladder. And if you would like me to share her contact details with you, please send me a WhatsApp on the WhatsApp number, and I will gladly do that for you.